I was alone, waiting for you, but you never came back. I was alone, the wind blowing through when I noticed that I was a fool, thinking that you would ever know that I wanted you, but I never said it. I wanted to say I need you more than I've ever known, more than you ever knew. When it's taken away, I'm living through. What were you only saw? The friend that I was to you.
So yeah, I've been pushing this moment for a while now. It's been around 3 weeks, and I've been thinking a lot lately. There are many reasons why I've been pushing it. One of them is because it's hard mentally to grasp what is happening in my life right now. But I said from the start with some of my reels, and I think also in the first YouTube video, that I wanted to be truthful to you, and so here I am. It's currently cool. It's currently 8:24 and 8:48, and yeah, I wanted to talk about a bit about my life from when I was younger, actually, so you can have a better understanding of who I am as an individual, why I do things certain way, why did I seek what I'm doing right now. And from the start, when I was really young, I used to be a kid who used to be with like full of energies. I I was always running around everywhere. I was always laughing. I used to climb on top of anything that I could climb on. I used to love climbing on stuff because I had the energy to do it, and I was actually really good at it also. And I think as times came along on the way, when you grow older, you realize stuff that you don't realize when you're younger, right? And one of my biggest problems that I had in my life, more in the past, so was school. I went to a private high school, and it didn't went well. I got kicked out of the school basically, and it was because I didn't have the exam score percentage to just keep on going at this specific school. And because of that, they advised my father, that is actually a teacher. Um, he teaches math in another private school, and yeah, they advised my father that I should change school for a non-private school basically, and that's what happened. But at that point, I was having a mental breakup with school where I wasn't really there anymore. And I actually started the depression when I was younger. And that depression stood with me for 12 years. And now I'm 24. So for around half of my life, a little bit less, I was in depression, and that made me think a lot about different things in my life. And because of that, I went through a lot, and I learned a lot also. I learned a lot of life lessons because I went through that specific time of my life. And now I'm super happy to say that I'm not in depression anymore. But I wouldn't want to change the fact that I have been in depression in the past, even though it was half of my life that I've lived currently, because it made me learn so much intention about how human works, how the brain, how my specific brain works. I've learned to understand how specific things that surrounds ourselves works also. And one of the questions that I like to tell myself now is, and I've written it down. It's ask yourself, does this support the life that I'm trying to create? I think a lot of the time we forget how much the things that surrounds us are more important than we think they are. And for the longest time that I can remember, when I was in depression, I used to hide my emotion, because what I've realized with time is that emotions create change, and change is difficult because it's not a habit that you have inside of your life. What is uncomfortable is harder to go through than staying comfortable. Even though you are in a depressing state of mind, you're just used to the fact that you want to stay in that zone because you're used to it, and so you're comfortable in some type of way to live with it. At least that's how it happened with me, and it's one of the reasons why it stood by me for all of those years. And that's why I love this specific question. Ask yourself, does this support the life that I'm trying to create? Because now I realize that, yeah, this depression state of mind made me learn a lot, but being afraid of feeling emotion isn't something that I should have stand for, because emotions makes create patterns inside of your life, and you can learn from those patterns. If you react to certain things inside of your life, you can learn from your reaction. And so, as a man, if you're told to not cry, well, from my point of view, you should cry, because crying is an emotion. And as a man, you should not suppress your emotions, you should live them in a logical pattern of way. And that's why I'm trying to never say I'm sorry when I cry, because I feel like it's an important moment inside of your life. If you cry, you feel those emotions, and after that you can think or just process it with consciousness in the right moment. When you're crying, you can understand certain things that are important for yourself and what is not important inside of your life. You can understand what is fragile inside of your life that you can learn from. And so that's just an example of why emotion is actually super important as a human being, right? And there are other life lessons that I wanted to talk about a little bit also, and one of them was replace the fear of unknown with curiosity. And that's actually how I got myself out. Well, it's a part of how I got myself out of my depression. by some time I realized what I liked and the goals that I wanted to set for myself, the dreams that I wanted to set for myself. And a lot of the time people think that dreams cannot become true at some point in their life because we like to compare ourselves and say that dreams are only capable of being made by the 0.01% of the population, right? And I'd like to think that it's not true. If you're curious about trying something that you fear about, well, you'll wonder way more, not way more, you'll wonder way farther down the line than somebody that isn't curious enough about the things that makes him fear. And that's one of the principles that I like to live by now. If there's a scenario that makes me stress as an individual, I sometimes I do still push it away because it's difficult to process and it's difficult to live by. I mean, it's a fear. You don't want to live by it, right? But I've also, in the last year, finished school. I bought my motorcycle. I did my class for my motorcycle. I did my permit, and I've launched a podcast. Yeah, maybe it didn't work the way it should have been, but still, I tried to do the podcast, and I've learned a lot about it while doing it also. So it's always like on the positive side also. I launched my company, so I learned so much. Even though it's not going again the way that I want it to go, I mean it's normal. Everything everything takes time, right? And that's also one of the other life lessons that I have. The thing that creates importance in your life will always takes time. It's normal. You shouldn't be able to just snap your fingers and have everything around yourself just that easily inside of your life. And that's also why dreams are so important to everybody else. There are going to be people jealous about others only because they have a dream of their own. So imagine just having your dream and not knowing what to do with it. It's a scary thing to do, and that's why I go back to the second principle. If you run towards the thing that makes you scarce, you can grow faster than anybody else. And I know it's difficult because I'm right there right now. Um, yeah, the third lesson, life lessons, I wrote it down is be patient when becoming someone you haven't been before. And that's especially important. It's going back to what I just said. Um, I think as human, we have this tendency to compare ourselves with others, and because we compare ourselves, because it's there are no greater tools to understand what's the worth of something than comparison, right? And so everybody use it, but it's a double-edged sword because sometimes you can understand how much you're worth in a positive way, and on the other side you can see something that you haven't done, that you want to do, that you're scared to do, or that you maybe envy from somebody else. And so sometimes it's hard on your brain to just be patient about stuff that is important for yourself because you want it now. But like I said, it's all about the journey. If you just live for the end goal that is your dream and you don't enjoy the path that you need to work on to actually achieve something, I think there are probably less chance that you can actually achieve your dreams. And if you really want to read more about it, it's basically principle about stoicism. So I highly, if it's something that interests you, I highly suggest that you go and read about stoicism. But yeah, if I go back about talking about myself, I the reason I wanted to push away this video is because there are many things right now in my life that aren't going the way that I wanted them to be or go. And I'm somebody that thinks a lot. And well, sometimes because I think a lot, I have this tendency to not, well, just overthink on stuff that I shouldn't be overthinking on. And you'll be able to understand that it's hard. It's really hard because you're just going down on a rabbit hole that you don't really want to go down, right? And for me right now, what happened with that is I had this I, I had a bad moment with my girlfriend. I've been in a relationship for 7 years, so that took a total on my brain because I didn't want it to lose her, basically, right? So I had to change certain things, and she had to change certain things so we can continue to grow and be in a relationship together. I also had a problem with the company because I've been working a lot on the company and I didn't got a lot in return in terms of financial. And for the people that didn't know, I basically quit my job to launch this specific company. And I don't suggest anybody to do it that way. I just had like a reasonable amount of money on the side so I could let myself try and do it. And that's why I did it, because it was a great opportunity for myself to, one, learn and also have all the time that I needed to actually try something new. And that's why I did it. Uh, while I'm saying this right now, I'm still working on my company. I didn't stop working on it, etc. I'm just not making enough money to just continue to work on this specifically and not have another source of income, basically. So I'm actually looking right now to have another source of income, but this specific thing uh, hurt my ego as a person who wants to feel proud. That's probably one of my biggest problems that made me depressed. I want people around me to feel proud about myself. I want to personally feel proud about myself also. And that's one of the things that pushed me the furthest, and also that crushes my brain the furthest also a lot of time in my life. And so for me, having to go back to a job when in the beginning I thought that I could not go back to a job hurt my ego. And that's basically what happened in the last 3 weeks. I I spent a lot of time just thinking on what I was going to do with the company, with where I wanted to go to work, and so I spent a fair time of those last 3 weeks to just raw thinking about who I am as an individual, what is important for myself. Um, does what I'm trying to create and what I have in my life supports the fact of what I'm trying to create. Am I really chasing the right things to create what I want in life? Am I patient enough? And all of those 3 life lessons that I've written down. And so I was also scared, or yeah, I guess I'll use the word scared, of speaking about it in front of the camera, because it's still something new for myself. And it's kind of putting myself fully naked in front of everybody else, where people can listen to me, and it's a place where you can be judged both positively and negatively, right, from what you're trying to do inside of your life or what you're trying to show on YouTube and etc. But I said I wanted to be truthful to what I was going to put on my YouTube channel. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, so I wanted to talk to you guys about it because I feel like it's something important, and I feel like a lot of you guys can actually resonate with it. I know I'm not alone, because I've talked with so many people and I've tried to help so many people with it also, because one of my biggest passion is psychology and philosophy. So I love to understand how the human brain works. I've written down so many sentences about how the brain works, basically, and I love it. So if you have actually any question about stuff like that, feel free feel free to comment down below, and maybe we could even make a call on Discord or something. I'd love to help you guys, or I'd love to help you, basically. And yeah, so what's to come in the next week? I would love to actually start making new videos just like this one, where it's just a raw talk. The first video I like to do it. It's more that it's kind of difficult to do. It takes more time, obviously, but it's also because I have this routine at home. I mean, I go to the gym, I eat, I love to cook, so I cook a lot, and I work on the company, and I travel, but I can't post travel every time because I'm not always on travel, right? But yeah, I'm gonna do my best to try to bring back video just like the first one that I posted, and some kind of videos that are like this one. And if you want to tell me what you like or dislike about certain moments of them so I can learn, feel free also. I'd love to learn from you guys. And I think I'm gonna finish on that. It's it's gonna be just a raw moment that I wanted to share with you guys, and yeah. By the way, actually, before I go, or before I let you go, I super appreciate the fact that you guys are doing so much on the channel. We've grown faster than I think than what I thought we were going to grow, so I'm super happy with it. The shorts are doing great. You guys are always so kind in the comment section, and from the bottom of my heart, honestly, um, I couldn't not wish anything better than that. So I'm super happy. Thank you guys. That means a lot. And so we'll continue to work on everything, and I hope this little thing was something that you can learn from or just share and interact with me. See you soon, man.